my channel. So today we are reviewing the Tarte and Too Faced holiday collection. All of these were purchased with my own money. Let's first start off with Tarte because the Too Faced is like so cool, so I want to save that for last. So anyways, I purchased this entire collection from QVC. I believe this is exclusive to QVC. It comes in 3 different boxes, and we will start with the smallest one, which is a purple box. In this box, you will get a mascara, which is the Lights Camera Lashes. This mascara is one of my all-time favorite mascaras. You don't have an issue with clumping or them getting like really crazy and chaotic looking. They just look like really, really nice lashes. And the thing that kind of threw me was the fact that it comes in this little leather thing. I thought I was supposed to take it off, so I was like trying to rip it apart forever. You don't, it just spins and comes out. The leather thing stays on. But this mascara is one of my all-time favorites. If you can get your hands on it, grab it because it's really, really good. And it's not one of those mascaras, you can layer it, but you don't have to layer it. You'll get a really nice bit of volume and length just in 1 or 2 little swoops. You don't have to just keep going and going and going, which is nice because ain't nobody got time for that. So you end up getting 4 eyeliners in this kit. The brown is called Bronze, the purple is called Plum, the blue is called Navy, and the black is called Black. Super ingenious there. These eyeliners are actually really, really nice, except for one thing. They are really, really thick. So when you go to apply it, you're not going to get it to a point. So when you go to apply it, you're gonna wanna make sure that you're like ready to apply it. You've got your elbow stabilized, you're ready to go. Because it does give a thick line. It's hard to get a really thin line with this. Also, I don't like the smudger because I feel like it doesn't actually smudge it. I feel like it wipes it. And so let me just get up and show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so we're just gonna do one right here. There's the line. And then you take the smudger, and I just feel like it's like wiping it. It's not actually, I don't know. I'm just not a huge fan of this smudger. I just feel like, I don't know, I'm not a big fan of smudging anyways, or the smudgers that come with them. But the liners are very pigmented, so you're gonna like that. Also, I have swatches of all of these, but because there are so many colors to swatch, I ended up doing swatches and then taking pictures that's going to be showing up here because it would have been, I mean, I would have been totally covered. When I did the pictures, I was totally covered. I was running out of arm space. And the next one, you end up getting lip glosses, and I don't know if they're called lipsticks. Let me see. Tarte, Decadence, oh my gosh, you can hardly read that. Tarte, Decadence, Lip Surgeons, lip cream. I love these lip creams. You end up getting 3 lip creams and then 2 lip glosses. So the lip creams are kind of like the chubby sticks, you know, they're chubby, but I feel like they are so creamy, but at the same time not really, really glossy. You know how sometimes like the matte cream sheen lipstick, it's like super buttery and it feels nice, but it's like super like, look at my lips, they're so glossy. This doesn't have that. It has that creamy feel, the creamy texture, but it doesn't have the real, not so much shimmer, but like oily look to it, which is really nice. And I feel like the 3 colors they gave you a dark purple color, which is, what is this called? Oh my gosh, you can't even read this. Okay, I have no idea what this is called. I don't think it actually says on here. Just says CD41, but they all say that. Anyways, you end up getting a dark one, and then you get kind of like a middle of the road one. And then you end up getting a really light one, like a corally one, which I think is really nice because this is, even though it's a holiday set, this is something you can use year round. So I love those colors. Now, The lip glosses, I totally hate. You know how MAC lip glosses are really sticky? This is like MAC on drugs. It is so sticky that you can actually even see little fibers. If you keep your mouth closed and then you go to talk, you can see little fibers there that form. There's so much stickiness. It almost feels like you have put honey on your lips, and I can't stand that. I can't stand a sticky lip gloss. And the crazy thing is I have lip glosses from the drugstore, like Beretania lip glosses, that have no stickiness to them whatsoever. And then you get a really high end like Tarte, and they are so sticky, it's ridiculous. Which is really sad because these colors would have been great toppers for these, or even just on their own. But unfortunately, they're just so sticky, I just can't even use them. They're way, way, way too sticky. And it's really, really thick, the actual gloss itself, so you have to apply quite a bit to actually get it to cover your entire lip area. And I feel like that ends up making it stickier because it's thicker, and it's just, I don't like those. Then we've got the big one, and the big one contains the Tarte eye cream. It's the Tarte Maracuja Sea Brightener Eye Treatment. And then you have a blush brush and a blending brush. And then you get 2 eye and blush palettes. Now, the eye cream, I actually really, really like. I feel like it's a tiny, tiny bit oily. But at the same time, if you have really dry skin like myself, you're actually gonna like that, because even under my eyes it gets super, super dry. So I really, really like this. I think if you have really oily skin, you may not like how it's kind of serum-y, oily consistency. I mean, not consistency, because it's an actual cream. But it just, when you apply it, it feels like you've applied a serum. And I'm not sure if that's because it's the sea brightener, like some sort of vitamin or something. I'm not sure what causes it to actually feel more like a serum. I'm actually gonna put some on my hand because I like to do that from time to time. We always forget about our hands. But it does feel really, really nice, and your skin will thank you for it. The next one is the 2 brushes. This is a blush brush, and this is the blending brush. The blending brush is obviously like your typical blending brush, except it's a little bit longer, so I'm not 100% thrilled with it. I feel like when you end up with these longer haired brushes, what can end up happening is it can kind of just end up smearing stuff where you don't want it. And so I like having like a really tapered blending brush, but short, and that way I'm able to control where I'm blending it to. Whereas with this, as you're blending along, you could end up going a little bit too high because it is so long. And the same thing with the blush brush. I'm not really fond of how long it is or how tightly tapered it is. And I think that might be because one of these can be used kind of as a bronzer as well, the Rejoiced. I mean, it is still quite blushy, but it can give you that sun-kissed look, like right here and right up here. And so I'm not sure if that's why they wanted you to be able to just kind of dust it over, but I just feel like it's a tiny bit too long for your typical blush brush, because, you know, it seems like a bit much there. Kind of big, actually, so not 100% thrilled with the brushes. Then we have these 2 palettes, which I freaking love. So the first one is the pink one, and this says Tarte High Performance Naturals. They both say that, so there's no real way of telling the difference other than one is pink and one is a purple blue. So in this, you're gonna get 6 eye colors with 1 blush. Now this is the blush that I was saying you can use to get kind of like that sun-kissed look. It actually reminds me a lot of the Bobbi Brown Maui. But as for the colors, it's actually really nice the way that they have them organized in these palettes. So you have your base color, the very lightest one, and it's also a matte right here, and this is Confetti Cake. And then you have a shimmery highlight, which is in the spotlight, but it's just a little tiny smidgen darker than the Confetti Cake. Then you have Make a Toast, which is also a matte, and then you have Golden Years, which is really shimmery and looks absolutely amazing on. And then you have Dancing Shoes, which is a matte brown, and then you have Chocolate Martini, which is a matte dark brown. And this whole thing, you can actually end up using every single one of these colors in one eye look, and I've done that several times. I'm still fighting a bit of a cold, so please excuse me. But anyways, you can actually end up using all of these colors to create one really, really beautiful eye look. And it actually, all of the colors are really pigmented. They blend really, really nicely. And I don't have any complaints except for the fact that some of them, mostly the shimmer ones, tend to powder more. And that gets a little bit annoying because I think it's a waste of product when something powders really, really heavily. So you want to make sure that you're tapping off the excess because you do not want fall down with some of these colors, especially the dark ones. The blush itself, like I said, can be used as a bronzer as well. It's a really nice color. It's not too dark, it's not too pink. It's just really, really beautiful and ends up creating a really, really nice like glow without having a lot of shimmer to it. In the other palette, we have the same setup, so it's gonna be 6 eye shades with 1 blush. So this one, it starts off with Pearls and Twist matte, and that's a matte. And then you have Mix and Mingle, which is also a matte. And then you have a shimmer, Sequin and Stilettos. That's my favorite one out of both of these palettes. It's so amazing. And then you have another matte, which is Bust a Mauve, not a move. And then you have one that's kind of a shimmer, kind of a matte. It can go either way because it's such a light shimmer that it's not going to be like, whoa, look at me, I have shimmer on. And that is Save the Date. And then it ends with Dressed to the Wines, which is like this dark purpley color. All of these can be used to create one look as well, but I haven't done that because I feel like the Dress to the Wines and the Sequin Stilettos is too different, if you know what I mean. You can do it just by using the sequins to stilettos as like the inner corner, but I feel like it's too far different for me, whereas the other ones are used for blending, so you know, to kind of blend it in. But the Bust a Mauve and the Dress to the Wines look really good together. Again, the blush, Overjoyed. This one is much more pigmented than the other one, so you want to make sure when you use this you're not rubbing your brush in because you are going to get a ton of color and you're going to look like a clown. Just lightly tap it and then swoop it up. Don't just do the apples of your cheeks because it is going to look very clownish. But it is a really great color. The only thing is I'm not 100% sure if this is a great Christmas color. And considering this is their Christmas or holiday set, it seemed like it would be a little bit more Christmassy, but I feel like this is more for the summer. So that is the entire Tarte set that I got from QVC. And then I have the Too Faced Le Grand Chateau. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Little A, tell me if I am. Anyways, so I love the set of this. I love this box set. They actually have an entire range, but I just purchased this. This I believe was $47. Something like that. And when I first got it, I was like, oh my gosh, I love this. It's just so freaking cute. I love this setup. I want to give the box to my niece and just take the makeup out, but at the same time I kind of want to keep it for myself, so I don't know what to do. Because Sophia is only 4, or Sophie as she wants to be called now. Okay, so someone was at my door, sorry about that. I don't know where I was now. But anyway, so you take off the lid and you open up these magical doors, and you have 3 palettes and 1 mascara. So let's start with the mascara. And this is the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. Now, for myself, this is just for, in my own opinion, what I prefer. I don't like a chaotic looking mascara, kind of like the Maybelline Chaos mascara, whatever it was called. And I don't like this one. I feel like, and you can see it as soon as you open it, it is so chaotic looking, and when you apply this, I feel like it really clumps my lashes. It adds volume and length, but it's so clumped that it's hard to see it. and it's hard to kind of unclump them. I'm not a fan of it. It makes it way too chaotic in my opinion. I'm just gonna show you the brush so you can kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about. It looks very, like, compare this brush. So if you compare this brush here to this brush here, you can see there's such a huge difference in the two. I prefer like a little bit cleaner, not so much craziness. I think that the fibers, there's too many fibers. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of this one. Now, I did see Zoe Sugg, or Zoella, on her blog was saying that the Better Than Sex mascara is one of her favorites. I think that everyone is different on what they feel like they like in makeup, and for me personally, it's just way too much chaos in that mascara, and it just clumps too much. I like it a little bit cleaner, and I like it to be longer with some volume, but not crazy looking, especially for an everyday look. Then, when you open this back up, you end up with 3 palettes in here, and you can see there's like a little chaise lounge and stuff like that. So adorable. Now, these are supposed to be gifts. On the back, it says to and from. I originally, when I opened it, I was like, oh, I'll give one to my sister Laura. And then I was like, sorry, Laura, because I'm keeping them all. So the first one here is this teal one, and when you open it, this is probably one of my favorite ones out of these 2. So you end up with 6 colors and a blush or a bronzer. The first color here, again, there's gonna be the pictures, but the first color here is, oh my gosh, I have so much eyeshadow over this thing. So the first color is gonna be your base. It's like a creamy, khaki, beigey white, and it's Pot de Creme. All of these are in French, so excuse me, but I don't know French. And then you have this one, a Fifi. It's Fifi. It's kind of like a brown. It's like a dark matte brown, but it's not super dark. And then we have La Femme, which is a really, really dark matte brown. And then we have Bonjour, which is a really shimmery brown that is absolutely gorgeous. I love this color the most out of this whole palette. Then you have Merci, which is a similar color to Bonjour, which is going to be a lot darker than Bonjour, but it still has that really nice shimmer to it, and it makes a really, really good crease color. Now, the only one I'm not hugely fond of is Oui, and that is because it's black with a gold shimmer in it, like a gold glitter shimmer, and I find that it's really, really difficult to get it to transfer. All of these colors are really pigmented, except when you get to this one, it's really hard to get that to actually transfer properly how you want it. And that's kind of frustrating. I don't like to have to spend more than 20 minutes doing my eyeshadow, and with this I feel like it would take forever to build this up to the color that's in the actual palette. Mademoiselle is the blush in this palette, which is really, really pretty. It kind of has like a pinky orangey look to it. Again, it is very pigmented, so be really, really careful when using this. The next one is this pink one, and this is such a beautiful palette too. I'm just like obsessed with all of these palettes. So the first one you have is À Moi, which is a pinky base. So it's kind of like a white, but it has a hint of pink to it. And then you have Fleur right next to it, which is a very shimmery pink. Almost like a pink like the blush. So it's almost like a shimmery version of this blush. And then we have Jet Ami. I don't know. This is a very, very pink, almost like a purpley pink, like a, not a purpley pink, but it's very hello I'm pink. And that has a lot of shimmer to it as well. And then we have Moa, which is amazing. I love this color. I feel like there's that color in every palette that you're like, this one is me. This describes me. It is kind of like a bronzy shimmer, but with a really, really heavy shimmer, and it looks amazing on. Then we have Cherie, or Shetty. I should have asked my friend Nagua here because she speaks French fluently. That's her native tongue. So anyways, this is like a purpley gray shimmer, which is really, really nice for blending. And then you have Tout Sweet, which is a chocolatey shimmer and looks a lot like Merci in this one. In fact, this one is a little bit darker. So Tout Sweet is a little bit darker than Merci. Oh, and then this comes with a bronzer which is Jolie. And it has some shimmer to it, so you can use it in your contour, you can use it on your forehead, your nose, your jawline, your neck, anywhere that you would do any contouring or bronzing. If you're using it to make it not so much contour, but more like, oh, I've spent a little bit of time in the sun, make sure that you hit your cheekbones, anywhere that the sun would naturally hit that you would get flushed. So right along here, the bridge of your nose, your cheekbones, and right here. And lastly in that, we have the black one. The black one is the adventure palette. That's what I call it. This is something that I would use. I have a Christmas party coming up on Saturday. I will probably be using this palette. You start off with La Maris, I don't know, which is a pure white base matte right here. Then you go and you have Rendezvous, which is a really, really beautiful, it reminds me of like suede. So it's like a beautiful matte suede color. Then you have this amazing, this is Provence, which is my favorite place in France. I've never been to France, but I feel like I should move to Provence. But anyways, you have Provence here, which is a purpley shimmer. It's not a lot of shimmer. It's that borderline matte shimmer, which is really nice for such a bright pigmented color. Then you have Parfait, which again is a lot like, what is it called? Fleur, where it's a little bit lighter than Fleur, but it's got that kind of pinky color, but it's really, really shimmery, really rich looking. And I feel like for this, Parfait is like the perfect name for it. Then you have Très Chic, which is a black and purple glitter. Now this is going to be exactly like the, what was it called in the teal palette? Oui, where this Oui was black, but it had that gold glitter. This is black with purple glitter and maybe a little bit of silver in there as well. It's hard to get that to transfer, so you're gonna have to do a lot of building with it. But with your darker colors, you wanna make sure that you build them anyways. But I just feel like it takes more building with these types of shimmers. And then you have Noir, which is just a pure black matte. Which this whole palette is, in my opinion, like amazing. I wish I was adventurous enough to wear it every single day. But like I said, I'll probably just be wearing it for my Christmas parties this year. And then the blush in this is Tres Fab, which is a very bright pink blush. With this, you're gonna wanna be careful again because it is pigmented. You wanna dust it across your whole cheekbone area going up towards your temple, not just the apples of your cheeks, because then you get that kind of round clownish look. But it is a really, really beautiful color. And all of these transfer really well, except for the two glitter ones. So the only downside is you can get some fall down, especially with the shimmer ones. So you wanna make sure you're tapping off the excess. But other than that, I think there's a plane, I'm sorry. Other than that, I think that it's an amazing set and actually would be a great gift. So if you know someone who loves to do their makeup every day, or just really loves beauty and makeup in general, either the Too Faced Le Grand Chateau or the Tarte set from QVC would be a great option for either of them because these are amazing. So So that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Don't forget to subscribe, and let's go into the 25 days of Christmas.